Hello, Spirits of Vengeance, and welcome back to the Ghost Rider Vlog. So today's episode is going to be on book number 39. Of course, making room for the image over here. We have the Ghost Rider cover, and it's so-so again. It's kind of middle of the road. We have really good adaptations of the minion group as well as the villain, although the colors aren't right. And once again, the Ghost Rider kind of looks a little iffy. But otherwise, a fairly solid cover overall, and not much I can complain about there. And once again, I might also add that the inside art fares slightly better than the cover, so at least the inside still makes up for the rest of it. So the basic story picks up right where we left off last time, with the Ghost Rider falling off the ledge. He manages to save himself by catching his back tire on the canyon's cliffside, and on the second attempt finally is able to catch good enough to start making his way back up. Apparently the bike has enough speed that just with enough gravitas upon a rough enough and hard enough surface, he can start wheeling up again. So it doesn't take him too long to get back up, and he also continues to chase after the deaf cultists. They plan to destroy a bridge once they're across, however, the Ghost Rider jumps right across the gorge instead and cuts them off, but this being a deaf cult, they decide the next best option, instead of being caught by this guy, is to just commit themselves to death and commit suicide. So the Ghost Rider's vengeance cannot be wrought on these people, and he must try another way, to which he decides to go to the senator's house and have a meal and talk with the people involved with trying to find more about this cult and try to put an end to them. To which, while they're there, one of the cultists stupidly decides to set fire to the dry brush outside the home. They manage to put it out while Johnny goes into Ghost Rider mode in secret and goes off and captures the thugs that started the new fire that was attempting to burn down the senator's house. Upon coming back with them, they come to realize that one of the other guests is actually the lead cultist, and quickly hypnotizes the senator's son into being a cultist and setting him up with the full gear and everything. He has a quick confrontation with Johnny as he's in normal form. He uses one of the helmets to hit the boy in the head, even though he has the whole helmet thing going on, and he decides it's best to flee and does so. Johnny tries talking the senator's daughter into not going out there, but she believes that if the proper authorities were to be called out, her brother will most likely end up getting shot, if not something else as bad. So she decides to intervene anyways. Johnny also proceeds to follow a bit farther behind just as himself and tries to work his way back out there. The senator's daughter goes incognito as one of the deaf cultists and intervenes when her brother decides, again still in hypnosis, to join the suicide ritual by bike and flamethrower. She is captured as well as her brother when he finally snaps two out of the hypnosis and tries to help protect her. He is also then captured, and as they're trying to struggle free, they're being brought to the cliffside to be still sacrificed when Johnny shows up. He tries his best to do the whole shtick of trying to get them free as Johnny, but of course, people with flamethrowers will have better ideas and try to light him up. He makes a very quick transition to the Ghost Rider, makes his own Hellbike, and then literally just beats up all the cultists in Ghost Rider form, or at least the main biker cultists, and then tries to go after their leader, who in the meantime was quickly leading the rest of the cult to commit suicide because, and I quote, "Death is here, it's time to sacrifice everybody." Luckily, because he does bear a semi-resemblance to Death, Ghost Rider is enough to stand in their way and, with a single command, tell them to stop it. He then quickly grabs up their leader, and using Hellfire, he once again forces the man to confess to his sins allies to suffer the constant cold burn of his Hellfire. However, because of his transformation in front of everyone, the Senator's daughter and son are very distraught at what Johnny Blaze has become and don't really want to see him again and kind of tell him off. And honestly, why would Johnny stay? The only person that he was really a good friend with has burned, and the other people that he cared for at this point all think he's a monster now, despite the fact that he just saved their lives and probably numerous other lives. Oh well, such is the curse of Johnny Blaze. So in closing, two-part story. Pretty solid story, I think. I can't wait to see what they're going to start up doing next, as this was the last of the 1970s. So we've got, I want to say it's 2 or 3 years of 80s. Let me check. Correction, we technically have 4 years of the 1980s, so you have 1980 to 1983. And that will actually be the end of the original run. So we've got, I would roughly say, about half a year to a year of comics yet, if we do one issue a week. And I think also they're going to be switching off to, yes, they'll be switching off to the full 12 a year, so this will actually take a little while. So actually it might be a better part of a year or more before we actually reach the end of the 70s. So this is going to take a bit. So anyway, that's about it for right now. Again, reminding you that we're going to be studying the official, for sure, Bronze Age of comics with our next issue, as it kind of started in the 70s, but definitely became very strong in the 80s. Thankfully, we will not be suffering Dark Age of comics at least for another year or so, as far as I can calculate here. So, that is it for now, and thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.